Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm joined with my two fellow strandees, Philip Gilfus and Daniel Prue. Philip, did you notice something orbiting City Alpha 3 at that Lagrange point? I think I just picked it up. I haven't seen it before.
Well, it looks to be 5 miles long.
Now, see, when I looked at it, it looked more like a hoop with some claws. It was
which is odd because usually we go in metric as we all should, but I just thought 5 miles.
That's true. I don't even know what that is in meters, but it's a lot. But
is it?
How has your Trek week been? Any new episodes digested?
We're still slowly going along our Voyager. We did watch the cheese.
Does she know yet? Has the secret been broken?
The Cheese Did It episode was the latest
Oh gosh!
one.
Oh man!
No. That's just the small part of the episode. It's more about the Maquis.
That's the Netflix summary part. That's the only part that makes it in the Netflix summary.
But it is, and again, I'm judging by what I've seen, not by what I know what's coming. But the thing about dealing with the Maquis crewman, you're like, yeah, of course, that's the last we'll ever see, other than Sisko and the hologram or the holodeck thing. So it was like, oh, you want to do it the Maquis way or the Starfleet way?
That's the Punch episode.
Oh man.
And that's a good Chakotay moment. As much as we make fun now, had they done that character the whole time. But now another thing I did Star Trek was my Star Trek group, or folks that I know from the Starfleet International fan club, the USS Bonaventure here where I live, we had a board game night over at the captain's house.
Did you play the VHS?
We played,
because
we played a newer game. I think it's called Star Trek Expeditions. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it's JJ based.
Kelvin based, Philip.
Whatever. You say potato, I say JJ. I think they're the expansion packs, but basically this long story short, you can be, sort of Kirk, Spock, Uhura, or McCoy. There happened to be 4 of us, so it worked out. So yeah, it's interesting. It is one of those sort of, modern games, but I think when you got down to it, it was good. I would give it like a B, just because I like strategic games where there's multiple ways to win. And this one, there really is. It's a cooperative game, so you're all working together. But there is kind of just one way to win. And so I was like, I like the games where like you could win by doing that, and you can win by doing that, and you can win by doing that. But it's sort of like, you just have to sort of follow these plots and get as many scores as you can. So, but overall, it's still fun. What
was the challenge? Was it Klingons or?
Yes,
what
the premise is that you're in orbit of Nibia. I think it's like that planet from Into Dark. Anyway, but that they wanted to be in the Federation, but when they arrive, they're sort of in a bad mood and change their tune, and then you detect another vessel in orbit, and it turns out to be the Klingons. And so, like, the top of the board has the Enterprise, and it says Hero Clicks, if you're familiar with those. Enterprise is in the middle, and then you have the Klingon battleship that's also there. And so when you have space fights, you can click when you take damage, and you have like long range, short range weapons, shields, and then each of the characters, like your figures, are hero clicks. So Uhura can take damage, Spock can take damage when they beam down from the Enterprise to the planets and do the missions around the planets. So
And what was that called again?
I want to say Star Trek Expeditions. It's sort of the E, so I'm trying to remember, but I think that's correct. I can Google.
There's plenty of letters left in the alphabet, Philip.
Star Trek Expeditions board game. Yes. Yeah, it looks about right.
Yeah, so this year. So yeah. So if you're enjoyed the.
So how did it compare to the interactive VCR board game, though? We need to know.
Because the interactive board game is a little more one note in that the common one goal, but I think the board game is cool because you have the multimedia experience, and that's hard to beat.
True,
it's hard to beat.
And
not Galron. Yes. That's. If they had found a way to bring not Galron into your, Expeditions game, I think we'd have a winner.
And I think, the not to go over technological, but I don't think it's weird to think like you could have an app with these board games where it would be something ishy like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be as multimedia as an interactive VCR board game, Klingon Challenge, Star Trek Next Generation. But something like that, you know.
When we talked about that before, and when we kind of reimagined the VCR board game in a modern technological setting, you know, Betamax or something. But
Laser
yeah,
disc.
so no,
Nice.
I think that would be interesting. That's cool, though. I'm glad you had that experience. That sounds like fun. What about you, Daniel? How's your not-so-secret rewatch? Often imitated, never
Actually
succinct. How's it go? Actually done.
Yeah. Nothing again this week. It's tough. It's tough to find.
What are you
some time.
what
Well,
are you
you know,
watching or what are you playing?
I was going to say, you have a bye week, though, because I gave you homework. So
true.
you
That he did
used
2 hours
that
ago.
hour.
So anyway,
I had to watch some
not Star
low-budget
Trek.
Star Trek fan fiction this week, but no, I kid, I tease. Yeah, I've been playing Star Trek Online though, still, and level 30 I just hit. So
What's your rank? Are you
I
a
just
sub
graduated.
commander or
I just graduated from Sub Commander 2, and I can't remember.
commander?
what
I
they-
assume, right?
No,
or do they
no,
call it
it's
captain?
not. It's not captain either.
Oh.
It's man, I'd have to look it up. I don't know, but
That's crazy.
Well,
about
Leggett
it.
is admiral. So wait.
I did. Yeah, I can't remember specifically what they call it, but I got a D. Deerdix class ship.
Ooh, and you're like,
So-
I don't want to upgrade. I'm staying with this thing forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let them upgrade you. Don't let them promote you. Once you're on the bridge of that ship, it's just as awesome as can be.
So it's pretty. It's God, I love that ship so much. It's really fantastic.
Do I remember
So,
correctly that you get to use the what drives the warbird? Isn't that one of the
black
yeah.
hole, artificial
oh, the
singularity.
drive.
Isn't there like a thing with like that's one of your ship buttons? You can kind of create like a.
I
What, like ludicrous speed or
No,
something?
no. It like sends out like some sort of pulse or anything. But anyway,
yeah, not that I've seen.
Oh,
but
like a
maybe.
tachyon
or
pulse or
something.
something?
Anyway. There are some cool things with the Romulans that are different from the ships. I'll say that is one thing with SCO. They do kind of play. It's not just the same route. Like if you have a Klingon ship, it's the same as the Starfleet ship. They do kind of change it up a little bit.
It is cool too, though. A big problem Star Trek Online has is scale. Like you get onto the bridge of your ship and you're like 3 feet tall in this giant coliseum. Like
Yeah, it always feels
the bridge feels
big.
ginormous. But what's cool is like in this ship, when there are other ships nearby that are classes that you're familiar with, this ship does still feel big.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels pretty massive. So it's, I think that's a thing of beauty. I don't have the opportunity very often to pilot the ship and scoot it around how I want to. So I'm pretty excited about it, and it's
You
been a
just
lot of fun.
Press
so
the
far.
cloak on, cloak off, cloak on, cloak off.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they had a plug-in to do that trans-dimensional one where it's like you can phase the phasing cloak.
through it. The
Oh,
Pegasus.
the Pegasus thing. Yeah.
That would have been cool.
And you just go to the neutral zone and just stare at ships. Is that what you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That was Pegasus. I guess I was thinking of the one where Geordi and Ro died, where
The
they
next
were
phase.
shifted.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Because wasn't that because of something that was going on the Romulan ship?
Oh, because they met another
They were trying to do
Romulan,
something?
right? Yeah, and they threw him out the ship because you could phase depending on how the writers wanted it to happen.
Well, right. You couldn't phase with the floor. Clearly,
No, that would be ridiculous.
there's gravity plating on
Floor-
the floor there, guys. Come on now.
Floor molecules are completely different than wall molecules, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, floor molecules aside, let's see. I hadn't watched any Star Trek this week, but we did watch The Empire Strikes Back
That's not Star Trek.
for my daughter for the first time. So I said I did not watch Star Trek this
Right.
week.
Stay tuned to this episode,
Period.
because you're gonna be hearing a lot of that.
He's
but that was
segueing.
enjoyable.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, for her to see it for the first time, and I think the biggest shock to her was C-3PO getting blown up because he's her favorite character. I don't think she cared really about Luke getting his hand chopped off.
Or
It was
Han getting
more
frozen
all about C-3PO.
carbonite.
Yeah, we got to find out what happens to Han. I hope he makes it, but we'll find out when we get to Return of the Jedi. It might be a little while, but we'll get there.
Make her wait like 3 years, like everyone else had to. Is that-
Was she
No, I'm not gonna make her.
was
wait.
she bored during the cave sequence? Because I remember being bored as a kid, like tragically.
She was trying to figure out what was going on because it's not super clear, but I think she definitely enjoyed the ice planet at the beginning with Hoth. I think that was her favorite part. It's just also just a really long movie for a kid. So by the end, I think she was just kind of done.
Yeah.
And
Now,
we're trying to get her to pay attention to the end with the infamous lines but
I know.
Yeah, she did.
Now, Darren, I don't think we've brought up this subject in probably years, but let's talk about it because this will marry everything together. Lego. So I hear things because I don't participate. People are not necessarily overly excited about the what's it called? Blank City. No. Orlando, Calrissian. What's the place?
Cloud City?
Oh.
Cloud City. Yeah, there's a Cloud City Lego set.
Cloud.
People
Yes,
are like,
yes, the new
not
Cloud.
what I thought.
Yeah, the new Cloud City one. Yeah, I mean, some people have said it looks like the top of the Death Star set just chopped off, and I mean it's circular and like cut into quadrants, and you have different areas. I think because this is the second Bespin Cloud City set. There was another one that was kind of more like a bunch of disjointed hallways connected. But I mean, it's way beyond what I can afford anyway.
And their
so
price
I don't
was
even
another thing
worry
they were
about it
talking
too
about.
much.
I guess they were imagining
Darren.
it'd be like covered up, or actually, and it's just sort of like here's 4 rooms or something.
What are those?
Yeah.
What are those speeders called? The Bespin Cloud speeders. What are they called?
The Cloud Cars.
Was that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Star Wars isn't that imaginative.
I was hoping to. Because I remember when I was a kid, I had the dictionary, the visual dictionary. What was it called? I'm sure you.
Visual dictionary.
Star Wars, the visual
Is that what
dictionary.
it was called? Yeah. Okay.
I think it was, yeah.
You're overthinking.
And
Well, you're talking about the cross sections book?
no.
They
It was
had
a
those
big,
too.
real thick, and it just went in alphabetical order, and you saw a
Okay.
picture of a thing, and it told you what the thing was, and I read it like as a kid. I just couldn't remember what those cars were called. And I was
You're a giant nerd, Daniel.
It's true.
That's okay.
It may be true, but anyways, sorry.
Yeah, those are Cloud Cars. Yeah, my thought is you could, because they also had a carbon freezing chamber set that came out that was bigger, and I think that'd be interesting to take out the one that they included and like put in that one kind of as like an upgrade. But I mean, you can recreate the moments, and that's, I think doing it as a dome kind of makes sense. But I think price was the big kicker where people were like, okay, we wanted this set, but it's a lot of money. So but yeah, that's how I weigh in,
Okay.
Philip. Well, today we are going to be talking about 2 great sci-fi series, Deep Space Nine, Herald of the Spinny Disk. I mean, we got long form stories, we got war, we got character development. I mean,
Politics, religion.
many politics, everybody. You got emissaries, you got Kywin, you got Gul Dukat, you have all sorts of great stuff on this space station. Is it the last best hope for peace?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Not really, because it's, but you have a wormhole. There's a lot of great stuff in this station, and I know a lot of people
Man, it'd be
who
hard
feel
to
that.
get bored on this station.
I mean, with Ferengi and all their antics, it's really hard. But no, I think it would be said that a lot of people consider this, the best of the new Trek, of Next Gen, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, as far as like story wise. And again, that's personal preference. I know people who enjoy it more than DS9 or the Next Gen, or I think Voyager kind of usually gets the shaft on those polls, but I know it's definitely not our favorite of the 3 of us, but it is high up there as far as what they do. I mean, I guess it's one of those days like, do I want vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream? They're both ice cream, which is great, but they're slightly different. And then if you had been listening to our podcast last week, I gave Daniel a homework assignment, and he was super excited. He went right out and watched it. So we're also going to be comparing and contrasting and just having a general discussion about another science fiction series that aired in the early 90s about a space station with religion and war and long-form storytelling.
And a big spinny thing that you traveled to and from.
Big spinny thing, and that is Babylon 5. And I do promise that this content, I'm keeping a track of minutes, so it is not going to be 95% Babylon 5, 5% Deep Space Nine. This is not the Babylon 5 podcast.
for.
It is it's not the one you're looking for. But I did want us, to put a pin in our long-standing discussion as I've been rewatching this series, much to Daniel's joy. Now he can get some of the references. So
Can I? Can I?
Philip made a reference at the beginning of the episode before we started recording, and you totally got it.
Yeah, from this one episode. I don't know.
Well, we got to start somewhere, Daniel.
You guys was the 5 Mile reference thing before? Was that referencing Babylon 5?
5 miles long, home to 250,000 humans and aliens.
It's in the opening intro. Did you skip the intro, Daniel?
Here's the thing about the intro, and I don't know if we want to start with the intro, but as soon as it was over, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, "Wow, that's exposition introduction." I don't know if you have to watch that every episode.
Well, in every generation, Slayer is born.
See, I've never watched that either.
Oh my gosh! Well, next week we're going to be talking about.
Oh no! Don't.
We're going to raise the stakes.
So what they did is they changed the intro every season, so it's slightly different each of the 5 years. Okay. So it gets a little more polished in the second season because it is definitely very exposition heavy, but it kind of had to be to kind of set up what's going on.
As someone watched, so first off, I guess we should establish this is kind of like a missing frames episode of Earl Grey.
That's true. In a weird,
change your Twitter
kind of
to
way.
First time B5.
Oh gosh.
So
I don't think he's ready to commit quite that much. But,
so
this is. But I just want to preface. This is the first time you've seen Babylon 5.
Anything. Babylon.
Any Babylon 5. Yeah.
So actually, that introduction was fairly informative, even if it was very long-winded for me. Mm-hmm. But even the second episode, watching that, I can imagine that getting very old very, very quickly. Like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we get it's the whatever year it was. I can't even remember.
Right.
23rd century.
Yeah.
The year is 2258. The name of the place.
The name of the place is Babylon 5. Which I'm glad later they changed to the place is Babylon 5. Don't say the name of the place.
Yeah,
was
bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was bad. But they fixed that in the second season. But so no, and that's one of the things with Babylon 5 is every season is a year. Like it actually starts on January and something, and then so as they're picking out dates, which they do a normal, calendar date, but at the very end, it's like they're celebrating New Year's Eve on most seasons. Like it actually goes through a calendar year.
Do they have a Christmas special?
They do.
They do have different holidays, but I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they get quite that. It wasn't Saturday morning.
I mean,
Christmas
they have a Hanukkah.
They're not Doctor Whoing
They did get a present because Susan was like, happy Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever. Here, and got you something. Yeah.
That's right, because she's Orthodox Jew, correct?
Well, Jewish. Yeah. I forget which sect, but yes.
Jewish something, yeah. So I gave Daniel the homework to watch the season 1 Babylon 5 episode Believers.
Which, by the way, Daniel. Darren, I cannot believe you gave Daniel Believers. I was like, of all the Babylon 5 episodes, really? That was going to go, okay, let's do it.
Okay,
I was going to second guess you, but I was like, really? Okay.
I was trying to go, I know I could have gone for one that had a little more, okay, I'll give my reasons. I could have gone for one that had a little more action. I know Daniel's more the action guy, but I also like how you touch base with all of the ambassadors, at least for a moment. That's really cool. It's early Babylon 5, so there's not as much going on like in the big picture. It's only a couple of, it's like the 10th season episode in, so like halfway through the first season. And for morality plot, which a lot of Star Trek is heralded for, wow, it really is hitting at the end. I also think Dr. Franklin's a really relatable character, and this is definitely a big Franklin character. So yes, next time I give you an assignment in a couple of years, Daniel, I'll make sure it's a little more shoot 'em up, bang bang. I know you like that stuff.
I had the same thought. Like, what was what process did you go through to choose this episode? Especially because it's so laser focused, and I don't know, maybe all the episodes are like this, but like you said, it's so laser focused on the.
There's barely a B plot.
My God, that is such a throwaway plot.
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders with Ivanova.
Like I was
yeah.
expecting like her to come back and like get reprimanded or whatever. It was like, oh, you're not the only one who had a rough day. And it was like weird. Like it's like felt like they were just kind of filling for that. But
yeah, the B plot was really just a little bit of filler in this
compared
regard,
to the
but,
B5
yeah.
plot.
But like I
Yes.
actually did think that the sequence with all of those different, I guess they're diplomats, ambassadors.
Yes.
Ambassadors,
That's why
yeah.
I expected to be your reason, because it's like, oh, I'm getting like kind of a sense of.
You get a taste of them, and I mean, you get Kosh, the Vorlon, who's just like speaking in riddles, and you're like, what the heck who is this guy? What's going on?
Which one was he?
He was the one in like the giant flowing gown who just said like the pebble cannot cast his vote because the avalanche has already started.
That was a good line, but I can't remember what he looked like.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, just pull up
See
Babylon 5
Darren's
ambassadors and
cosplay in 3 months.
Oh, discount Vorlons. Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. That's what I thought of when I saw them. I actually liked the guy a lot. The guy with the red eyes. He was cool.
Yes, Jakar.
Immediately.
So
this guy was cool. I'm like, okay.
Man, Jakar is amazing. So Jakar is now. Give me the actor name again.
Andrew,
Philip? I always mispronounce
hold on,
it.
Daniel. You know who Jakar is? Let's just do a little quiz
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Do you know what Star Trek character that you will like that he played?
No, I couldn't. I could honestly not tell you.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh, this is going to be a great
Romulan.
moment.
Oh, is he Tomalak?
Tomalak.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I did not pick that up at all. That's cool.
Yeah.
Andreas.
How long will we stare across the neutral zone at each other, Captain?
That's cool.
I can't remember.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Codulus.
Okay.
I can't remember his last name, but yeah.
Yeah, so when he was busy, when he was not shooting Babylon 5, he was being a Romulan.
Well,
going
spoilers.
against
I didn't know
Picard.
he shot Babylon 5, Darren.
You know what I mean. But no, that is probably one of the greatest character arcs in science fiction.
Well, second greatest. Londo.
Oh, true, to Londo, yeah. So, but anyway, really great character, and just kind of it's been said that his performance by Jakar is the main reason you could never do a remake of Babylon 5, because you could never capture that again with another actor. So you have him, you have Londo, who's the guy with like the fan hair.
He felt like Neelix. Like this was Babylon 5's Neelix.
It's
I don't know
season
why I got
one.
that sense.
Yeah. He takes a little getting used to. Think of like, it's like Roman Empire-esque, big, bold, boisterous, but he becomes like the tragic hero.
As I think
over
the
the course.
JMS goes, he's light funny season 1, light dark season 2, funny dark, and then sad dark.
Dark.
Yeah. So
I was also put off a little bit by his accent. Like I don't know what he's trying
Centauri.
to do. It's
Yeah, that's just Centauri. That's just what they sound
okay.
like.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can get behind that. It just sounded like a French Russian accent or something. Like it was really,
That's true.
really
That is kind of what it sounds
strange,
like.
but okay.
I always thought like Transylvania.
And then you had Ambassador Delenn, who's the Minbari with the bone
that's
coming
right.
out
She's
of
the
her
lady
head.
with the ears way down low.
yes,
Yes.
season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She was fine.
So she, again, all of these characters stay throughout all 5
And
years.
change in various ways.
And change.
Physical appearance, possibly.
But but again, I like how this is also dealing this episode with so the overall, I guess I should say for our listeners, if you've not seen this episode, the overall gist is a child is suffering from a respiratory ailment and is an alien child, and his parents, due to their religious beliefs, he cannot be operated on, in their belief that if he was to surgically be cut, that his spirit would leave and he would no longer be their child. That's the gist of it. So Dr. Stephen Franklin, the chief medical officer of Babylon 5, he is like, well, I got to save this kid. And he tries to work with the parents. And so they are basically, when we were talking about all the ambassadors, the parents go around to all of the ambassadors and Commander Sinclair and ask them to move on their behalf to make sure this doesn't happen, because they do not want it to happen with the child. At the end, Dr. Franklin decides to perform the surgery against their wills and to disastrous results. And we'll get to that at
we're doing a no-spoiler beginning. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to talk about that part till we get to that part, because it's,
No, and I would say it's also, and this is not a criticism for choosing this episode, but it's also unfair because this is about as much as Dr. Franklin gets for another 3 seasons.
Yeah, but I like Dr. Franklin.
It's still a stim problem.
What did you think of the Babylon 5 command staff, Daniel? So that'd be like Dr. Franklin, and then Ivanova, the lieutenant commander
at this time.
She's like the XO basically, and then Commander Sinclair, the head of
Wait
the
a minute,
station.
is the XO discount Bruce Willis?
No, that's Garibaldi. That's the security chief.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry, yes,
Mr. Garibaldi.
That guy is distractingly looks like Bruce Willis. I can't take anything he looks.
Well,
seriously.
I was going to say, don't worry, he goes bald eventually, but then so does Bruce Willis. So I guess it's still.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the other guy? Who's the?
Sinclair is the commander, so he's the other
I remember him.
male lead.
And then
he's the guy
the woman
in charge.
is the XO.
Ivanova.
Gotcha.
She's the XO on her little B plot.
So if it helps
Odyssey.
you, the commander is Cisco, because that's how you do space stations. Then you have your woman XO.
Yeah, Kira
your
is
tough as nails
Ivanova.
woman XO, right? And then you have your
Garibaldi's Odo.
security chief, who's tough and going to get things done. Damn the rules.
And then your medical doctor who
Believes
doesn't care
strongly
if it-
and
believes strongly.
Is this?
He's got to make it work.
So for the commander, is he new?
well, this is first season.
Well, I mean, like new in the sense like this is the first tough decision he's made. It doesn't make him come out very commanding or leaderly, because he's like
He's very political, I think, in
wobbling.
this one, or he's trying to play it
Yeah.
soft, like don't make me do this, Steven. I prefer
Right.
not.
I mean, the big thing with Babylon 5 is it's a neutral territory. It is run by the Earth Alliance, by humans, but I think his big thing in this episode is that it is, we're neutral. We can't set a precedence that we're going to impose our beliefs
It's
on
like
anyone
if
who
you
comes
were
through here.
a human organization based, and you were in charge of a station that was actually belonged to someone else, and you didn't want to offend their. It's kind of, I don't know what metaphor would work as an analogy, but that kind of like that.
he was okay. I didn't have any problems with him except for the fact that he seemed kind of a little weak in terms of obviously making.
And again, this is a Franklin episode, so I mean, there are definitely better Sinclair episodes
When he's
out
kicking
there.
butt and
but
shooting things and all that.
Yeah.
He was sitting behind a desk for most of this.
Think of this as the one where it's all about Nog and trading the desk, and you barely see Cisco until the very
Yeah, but
end.
Didn't he direct that episode? Isn't that why?
That's probably why.
The thing about Cisco is like he has a very intimidating presence, just physically, and
Right.
And even when he's like, Cisco always comes across as authoritative, and in this episode, again, just one episode.
No, yeah, we're
This
not
guy
taking it
is just,
bad. Yeah.
he seems a little weak in terms of actually making decisions. He's like, which is fine, I guess. I don't know, I have no idea where he comes from or where he goes, but like, he just comes across as like, oh, I kind of don't want to do the thing. I tried to pass it off to the senator and he didn't even want to talk to me. And then I tried to pass it off to these people and they don't want to do it. Like, I have to.
There is a lot more politics in Babylon 5, like almost episode 2 level politics sometimes. But
I like to find it as like an actor or like the, but it's just like the character comes off as a little milquetoast almost.
And I would say
Especially
the
this
first
episode.
time, and I can't remember, I probably watched B5 starting in like season 3 or something. But anyway, but going back, you're like, oh, it's Commander Sinclair. But then I think the more you watch it, you're like, you start to see the redeemable stuff in him. Because, I mean, spoiler alert, they change who's in charge of it.
he's only there the first season, and then Bruce Boxleiter comes and plays the commander for the remainder of the series.
Okay, so he leaves.
Yeah, so, but
Yeah.
I think what you say, Daniel, is not an unusual description of him.
No, it's not.
It also, especially the ending, really was bothersome. Well, I mean, the whole episode is filled with subordination and totally blatant disregard of orders. And like,
Damn it,
there's no,
Steven. I told you this would happen.
It's like, there's no authority. It feels very kind of do whatever you want to do. Like, even after
We're here on the frontier,
They're
frontier
practicing,
medicine, Daniel.
it's just like, especially at the end of the episode when nobody gets reprimanded for their actions, even though their actions have been the result of complete and like 100% disobeying of orders. Everybody's fine. It's cool. No big deal.
Now, I'm trying to remember, does this have repercussions later for Stephen Franklin, Philip?
No, well, no, not really.
I don't
No, but
think so.
but I think there is because there's several meanings and stories going on other than the obvious one of faith and science and blah blah. Because then there's also the sense of powerlessness because the parents have no power because they're a minor race. They don't have an ambassador aboard the station, so they can't get him into trouble really. Because they're powerless, and so this sense of the big power of the Earth Alliance, or even just the big powers there in Babylon 5,
making their own decision.
Yeah, then these are just the little guys who don't matter, quote unquote, right?
That's true, and that's probably, to answer your question, Dan, that's probably why he doesn't get in trouble, is that they're this blip of a race that has come through, but they don't have the political backing to make.
And they're
waves.
also, and this is going to sound cruel, they don't have anything to complain about. I mean, their child is dead, but they killed him, so what are they going to complain about?
Yeah, like thematically, the episode works because it's basically just. I mean, the commander at the end hits it right on the nose. He's like, you're kind of screwed no matter what. Sometimes things just suck, and you can't do anything about it. And
Kobayashi Maru of medical.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
but
that's true. I could actually see this in Starfleet Medical. Like we have to.
They don't have a cool fight the Klingons, but they do have a save the patient or no.
The medical Kobayashi Maru. I wonder what that would look like.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
That actually is what it feels like. I mean, you can feel for Franklin. Like he definitely, is an emotional character that he wants to do the right thing, but it's like, but there is no right thing. There's only two things to do.
So let me ask you a question about this doctor, and relate it to Deep Space Nine, because I know.
No, he's not genetically modified.
Especially from Mr. Phillip over there, and from a lot of people, there is a lot of criticism, especially of early Bashir, for being real smug and real I know everything. And blah, blah, blah.
But Zia, maybe if you made out with me, that would make you happy.
Early Bashir.
Is this character generally liked, and how is he getting past the smug test? Because this guy right after disobeying orders is like, I want an apology from the commander of the station because I was right the whole time.
Yeah.
Like this guy, Bashir never did that nonsense. He never tried to pull that stuff.
But I think that is the arrogance of, and it's all exaggerated to prove a point. So, I mean, and I'm not trying to be black and white about this, but the arrogance of the belief in science. I'm not making this black and white, but that's to prove the point. Oh, well, of course I'm right. How could I not be right? And then it's like, well, there's more to this. There's a gray area. There's all in to tell the story. And I think with Stephen, he's always going to have a strong beliefs. I mean, just like Bashir does too. And unfortunately, I don't think Stephen's written very well. I mean, he's not written very much. Basically, his storyline is basically what you saw. And then he sort of has up and down adventures, and then his major storyline isn't till season 4, when he has a stimulant, as they call them, stems, a stem addiction that he has to go through.
And then he has a lot of stuff with telepaths along the way.
But he's always the rebel. He's helping the telepaths. He's helping the Narn,
helping the underdog.
Yeah, so he's always a bit of a rebel.
And is this the episode where he has his speech about people?
Is this the episode?
They want me.
Darren, did you not watch the episode that we watched this week?
I'm trying to remember. I rewatched it, but I'm trying.
He
to
probably
remember
did it. Rewatched it when he told you to, Daniel, not 5 seconds ago.
Well, it was where he says they come here because they want me to play God. They want it to feel better. They they want it to So if I'm gonna take the. What did he say?
He says, I accept the responsibility.
But I want the authority as well. Yeah. So, again, you can see what was trying. And, like you said, to early Bashir, I mean, it makes me think of the episode where you have, the Ketracel White, and he wants to help them. But you're helping this blank. He's like, you're helping our mortal enemy become not dependent on their drug that keeps them in check. Like, that's not the best idea, Doctor. So,
but if we're doing a direct comparison,
which is
because that's a
terrible,
great episode. That's a fantastic episode of Deep Space Nine. The conflict in that episode comes between Bashir and O'Brien, who are great friends, who fundamentally disagree on this issue. In this episode, it doesn't seem like
he doesn't really have a person against him. That's the thing.
Okay.
There's like his medical assistant,
it's like the
but she's not a main
bureaucracy
character.
that he's fighting against. It's the system.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. The end of the episode, he doesn't come out on top. Nobody comes out on top on this episode.
Right, but I think that's the point of the story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I think it's and of course, well, I guess we didn't mention the Star Trek connection because this was written by.
Oh, that's right. This
David
was
Gerald.
David Gerald wrote it.
So
interesting. Okay.
So Star Trek writer and
of The Trouble with Tribbles and
Classic Star
a
Trek.
lot of
animated.
Yeah. That's where the Globbit came in. It's like, this could be a tribble, but I can't make it a tribble, so we're going to make it a piece of industrial goo.
But and again, the whole B5 versus DS9, I think it's a false dichotomy. But we can play this game, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been interesting if there had been a Bashir episode who had to deal with the Bajoran faith issue in treating a patient. And what that would have done, because it would have been the same issues, especially with the emissary / commander of the station, who would have been like, don't put me in this position,
like,
make me choose.
But it's like, you're the emissary. You literally are.
You can tell
in the
them what to
position.
do, Commander.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Yeah, so very similar lines where Bashir has to operate to save this child, but Bajoran religious practices forbade.
You'd have the Kai
surgery
visiting,
or something like that.
and
yeah. Everyone loves the Kai. I mean, that's, and then it would be more, I don't know if it would be more of a Bashir episode then, or if it would be like a Kai Wynn / Cisco episode. More like the one with the school.
Yeah, but better.
That's a very close parallel to what's going on here. It's the same. It feels like,
I mean, a little more life and death, but same,
Yeah, for sure, but it's the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's ultimately the same issue. Is how much do you respect other people's beliefs? Where do you draw that line? When is what is acceptable drawn? Where do you?
And I think that's the best of Star Trek, when they have episodes about those lines and where they're drawn and how far and no farther.
So that's a great episode as well. That episode frustrates me to a lot.
Wait, did you just say a Keiko episode was a great episode as well? Because
that episode frustrates me to a tremendous degree, but in the same way that this episode does as well. Whereas, because to my rational mind, there's a very clear path of fixing this problem. I mean, I understand that in the science fiction lens, you're dealing with.
Why did they just beam the tumor out? Well, I'm going to tell you, Daniel, we don't have that technology.
Even in modern
couldn't raise the
times
shields
now,
either.
we have laws against this sort of stuff. Like if
Right.
so it's like it feels like this. But I understand that, like, you're looking at this issue through a science fiction lens. So this is essentially science versus faith. And I definitely land really hard in one camp. So this episode is just as frustrating to me as the Keiko one. But I guess I would say that the Keiko one just because I understand the context works better for me.
Well, of course.
But and I think the thing about B5 and then Star Trek in general is because, okay, like, I mean, we're all Americans, or at least the three of us. So when there's conflicts in America about these issues or whatever, we're all on the same page with our frame of reference. There's a spectrum. But these were, it's an alien culture, and then we have to do, much do we respect, what law are we operating under, what culture, what politics, where's the line of how much we have to give, how much we have to take. Then I think that's what opens up the topic more for exploration of that.
Now, in Deep Space Nine, because again, very similar in the base concept. I mean, base concept wise, I can see why people. Yeah, I mean, I can see why people compare these, but what actually having watched it, I mean, they're obviously very different shows with very different, purposes. But I think I would almost feel that. Do you feel that Bashir, like, I know you haven't seen all of Babylon 5, Daniel, but do you feel like Bashir is a fairly fleshed out character of the main command staff, or does he kind of also suffer from being kind of lower on the rung?
I would say, especially later on, he definitely becomes, and early on.
I mean, you get the whole genetic
which is a
engineering
retroactive
stuff.
characterization.
Yeah, even take that. I mean, you could take that away. That's fine. It's also, I think, part of it is attributed to the fact that Alexander Siddig is such a great actor as well, and so charismatic. I think he grows a lot in his relationship with O'Brien. So we definitely get more of
and Garrick
and
Garrick
and
that
the Section 31,
really
which is a little bizarre. I mean, I'm not saying it is.
Yeah, that's later on.
But I'm just saying, choosing him for that storyline.
Yeah. So he, he definitely gets he's a major part. He would probably be a second tier character, sure, but he is around enough and influencing major players enough that he feels very significant to the Deep Space Nine story, I would say.
Well, and I don't know, for him, and again, not being the biggest Deep Space Nine fan, but I'd say it's him, because I can't, how many notes are there to Julian Bashir? I mean, I get it, so passionate,
he's good
intelligent,
at darts.
but what's the backstory? What's the, I mean, the genetic one helps, but that's not until season 6 or 5 or something, and it's so
do you remember when we met Data's mom, Philip? Mm-hmm. His mom.
I know, and
well, it wasn't his mom, Daniel.
but in other words, Cisco, you have being a father, you have being the emissary, you have the command issues with Kira, you have
I'd say you have Dask and Kira, or you have Cisco and Kira at the top, who we know the most about right out of the gate.
But then even Odo, the search for who he is and who his people are.
Yeah.
Jadzia having multiple lives to draw from. Quark being Quark, but
I mean, O'Brien we already kind of know a little bit, but yeah, I guess that's why I kind of feel with Bashir, not that we don't learn about him, but he's kind of at the bottom of the barrel as far as interesting out of the gate. It takes a while.
Out of the gate,
I don't have weird things to do, in my opinion. I mean, it works, but he's going to be the James Bond character in the holodeck. Okay.
Well, but that becomes part of his character. That's part of his charm as well. I mean,
true.
Dr. Spy. Dart player.
And I have a lot of frustrations that you do, Philip, with his retroactive super abilities, which I think could have been written better. But once we learn about it, and once we meet his parents, it still fits the character. It was clumsily handled. But
we meet Franklin's parents too, so that kind of works.
I don't know anything about that. But
we don't ever meet his mom because I guess she died, right?
That's true. We meet his dad.
We do meet his dad.
His dad is a military general, so it's kind of that whole was expected to be in the service and chose to go into medicine.
And does dad feel resentful that I kill people and you help them? Is that what you think I am, a killer? And then
it's I mean, that's nothing new under the sun, but it was a good arc.
Does Jules have a daddy issue or a mommy issue? Because you got to have one.
It's definitely a daddy issue.
Okay,
it's from that episode. We meet them both.
Well, they were kind of both the same.
Yeah, I mean, his mom's more supportive though.
Well, she still modified him, so.
Yeah, but they both can't tell when they're looking at a hologram versus
What
their
kind
actual
of mother is
son. Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot there's a Voyager crossover. Yeah, that's a great episode. That's a really fantastic episode.
Oh yeah, no, it is. And we see his outreach work with the what's the name for those? That think tank.
Genetically modified people.
Genetically modified people. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
and I love those.
He kind of champions that cause.
Right, much to his whatever, but they have 2 episodes. Yeah.
Both of them are good. I like those cast of characters.
Yeah.
I like Admiral Patrick. Admiral Patrick is the best. I have a belt.
Yeah, what's the thing he said? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What was the
That's a stupid question.
Yeah.
That's a stupid question.
Yeah. That's a stupid question. Yeah. We're not discounting any of Bashir's Bashirness, but
and I don't know anything about this guy, so but I would say that first season Bashir versus season 7 Bashir, I mean, they're totally different people. Right. There's a massive amount.
I would say, to your point, Daniel, as far as this particular episode, I think it would have been even stronger if Franklin was like you were saying in that episode with the Jem'Hadar with Bashir, it was Bashir and O'Brien back and forth, and you had that. You could see both sides, but you knew both characters, whereas Franklin didn't have a opposite.
Other than the
really.
parents, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, the parents, but we don't know them. They're one episode. So if it had been him, and I don't know who it would have been.
Well, there's that lady.
He doesn't really have a relationship.
There's no resident, just religious figure.
Yeah.
Is that lady important at all? His
not really.
other doctor lady?
I mean,
well, doesn't she eventually take over?
I think she does.
That's a long game too. She's probably in like 4 episodes, and she takes over at the end.
So maybe this would have been a better season 2 episode, and he had like going against like Garibaldi or even Sinclair. It probably would have been Sinclair because
Sheridan if you're in season 2.
Sorry, yeah. But that's I think I kind of agree with what you're saying, Daniel. Like that would have been a better dichotomy to have something for him to go against instead of just the parents and he's fighting the situation, and that's hard to visualize and pull together.
Especially on the Jersey Shore. You don't want to be.
Oh,
but I mean, to be fair, like this is a season 1 episode versus that episode, which is like a season 4 Deep Space Nine episode. Right. So it's totally different, and I'll give them.
Oh yeah,
and season 1 B5. I mean, you can do every season 1, but literally season 1 Babylon 5 because it does follow.
It's all world building.
It's a 5-year thing, so it is literally like a story. So this is literally the exposition, and season 2's rising action, and so this is but you get a lot in season 1 that invests later. So.
Oh yeah. Now, okay, so Philip, you get to pick the Daniel's next B5 episode because I won't get to choose anymore. Should we do the Penn and Teller one?
No.
Penn and Teller show up on an episode?
Yes.
I love Penn and Teller. I will absolutely watch
Zooty,
that.
Root and Zoot. What are they called? I can't remember anyway.
Zoot? Yeah, it's beyond ridiculous. But anyway,
because basically they're
really
characters
ridiculous.
that are name checked for probably 4 years until they finally show up as Penn and Teller in season 5.
That's awesome.
Rebo and Zooty. That's who it is.
Rebo and Zooty, yeah. But it's literally just them being Penn and Teller. Like except in name only is the only difference. And it's a young Penn Teller, too.
I mean, it's been a few decades since this aired on TV. Yeah, because I think this is, like you said, a morality tale with B5 in this one. Whereas, not that there aren't morality tales, but I think those tales later in the series are more personal, larger ones. So instead of being like faith versus science, it's like personal guilt or forgiveness,
right?
Or
right.
Ambition, or sort of these larger. Not that faith and science isn't but these like larger things that are personal to the characters, but they take you on a journey instead of sort of being like a specific conflict.
Gosh, I was just having a Mercy Point flashback. Did you guys ever watch that show? It was like basically think ER in space. So it's, this station that's like a hospital out at a waypoint
Frontier
somewhere.
medicine.
And frontier medicine all around. But, they have to deal with, different races and different species and different, you have a little bit of sci-fi thrown in. And, I mean, it's not as good as either Star Trek or B5. I think it only lasted like a season or 2. But yeah, I'm just thinking of it because it's very Doctor. I could see this episode fitting in. Well, this would be really extreme for Mercy Point, like the whole like religious overtones and such.
Well, and 2 things. One, I did think of a good if we're playing the Kevin Bacon Star Trek B5 game. So Dr. Franklin's love interest later on is number 1. I can't remember the actress's name, who eventually takes over as security at the end of this show, the tall blonde. Just watched Heroes and Demons and Star Trek Voyager, who plays the female warrior there. It's her.
Right. Oh yeah, there's lots of Trek crossovers. There's the guy who played Barclay is in an episode.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's Majel Barrett is in an episode.
Well, she is. Yeah. Walter Coing, for goodness sake.
And Walter
Chekhov
Coing
is basically
plays a
like
major
a tertiary
role.
character in all of B5. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I actually had to look this up just because it's so forgettable. But I was trying to find the closest episode for Bashir that I could, And do you remember the episode? And I didn't, so don't feel bad. But do you remember the episode called The Quickening?
Yes.
It's like on some sand planet, and
Yeah, it's like the thing that like shows up on their neck, and it's like once you get it, it just kills you in a couple of days. And he's trying to figure out, like, he's like, "There's got to be a way to solve this." I remember that episode. It was early.
Keep
Bashir.
going. I'm not there yet.
it's actually season 4, so we're right midway through.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So the Dominion.
I remember that one.
It's
though.
a poor planet. The Dominion give these people this disease, and they just get like it's him and I think Dax, and they just get like boils on their neck and then die. And
it's like they
Is
have
like the curse of the
normally
black
like
spot, the 11th Doctor.
It's like it's like they normally have like blue like veins, and then it turns red if they get the quickening or something like that. I haven't seen it in a while.
And it's basically like Julian obsessing, like, I can fix this, I can do this, only I can do this, and then he fails, and that's it.
Yeah, he doesn't succeed.
Yeah, so it's in that way. It's kind of like this episode. It's not a great episode. It's very forgettable. So it's the closest I can come to it.
The better one was the one with the harvesters and him and Bashir, or him and O'Brien, like where they were destroying the genetic modified stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then he's killed. But they're actually, because they want everybody who's touched this project to just be gone because they're so afraid of it.
On the space station. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was all about the coffee.
Yes.
And Keiko was like,
yes.
"You drank the coffee." And I knew that wasn't you. And he's like, "Oh, I totally drank coffee that early now." And she's like, "You really?"
That's kind of a tertiary like aspect of that episode, but yeah.
I mean, it's like the very end, but I remember that part.
Yeah, but I was just reading the Lurker's Guide, of course. So for anyone who's doing B5, you have to read the Lurker's Guide for every episode.
Yes,
and JMS, or J. Michael Straczynski, the showrunner and creator of Babylon 5, was that he had to fight for that ending. So, like, basically the kid's dying.
Oh, I bet. I looked at the Lurker's Guide, and he's like, we have this episode, and it's going to go right to the line, because that's our job, but yeah, this was definitely...
The story is good. It's decent. The ending is weak. It feels a little...
You feel because of the lack of repercussions against Franklin?
There's no repercussions. It feels a little rushed. And, like, the whole B plot ends up to amounting to nothing. Why do we even see this at all? Like, it was terribly frustrating. Okay, the lady goes, she fights the Dorito ships, and then she turns around and comes back, and then nothing happens. And they're like, hey, this guy had a tough time. Why is this even a thing?
The Raiders in the first season are kind of like a thread, like they pop up in sporadic episodes, so there's that you wouldn't know if you hadn't seen. But I totally understand what you're saying. In this episode, it does feel like time filler, which is probably what it was.
Also, in terms of like what we were talking about before, like just blatant total disrespect to your superiors, she's like, I'm so bored. Why don't you send me on this mission? Oh my God. Like, it's like, oh, are you just like whining on the bridge? Like, I guess I could go back to my console and press these buttons. It's like, wait, this lady, are you joking me, lady? Like,
no, is this the one, or I'm trying to remember, because she does this a few times. Is this the one where like, no, I'm fine. I'll just sit here and read my reports. And then he's like, Commander, or Lieutenant Commander, I have an idea. Why don't you go out and,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
after she's super snarky and sarcastic to him. Like, he should send her to, like, clean stuff with a toothbrush. Like, why is he rewarding
Well, I think the question
her?
is, why hasn't he been sending her before? So, I think it's a little sexism at work, and we're trying to...
Now, what did you think, I mean, besides Franklin's Scott-free-ness, that's not a word at all, but what'd you think, like, did you see the ending coming at all with... Like, once they take the kid away in his travel robes, and
so they kept moving the goalpost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you felt like, as far as like the kid dying,
so,
you felt it was going to happen sooner.
So early on, it's like, okay, what's going to happen to this kid? And you're like, let's see, what are they going to do? I saw him performing the surgery without anybody's permission well before that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You felt like that was going to happen. Like all this stuff is just setting up him making the choice to do it anyway.
And it's clear that they're just setting obstacles in front of him for him to go through. Okay, no, you're not supposed to do this because the parents don't want you to. Now the station ambassadors won't help, and now the commander won't make a firm decision. Like, it's basically, okay, that's what you're going to do. That's fine.
It's got to become his judgment call.
Yeah. So once he decides he wants to do it on his own, and he does perform the surgery, and then the parents are all like, it's a demon. Like, this thing doesn't have a soul. And I'm like, okay, cool. So maybe he adopts this kid? Mm-hmm. Didn't really know.
That would have been nice.
Didn't really know what was going to happen here. But, oh my God, as soon as the next day, by the way, the next day,
right?
These parents are literally like, with crucifixes, this is a demon, get away from me, child. Mm-hmm. They come back, they're like, oh, we're totally cool now. Everything is totally fine.
Yeah, that's red flag city right there.
The garment, the death garment, of which we will kill our child in. Like, it's so projected. It's like, okay, well, they're about to kill the kid. Mm-hmm. And so that whole second part is so projected and so obvious. It's like, then when the doctor realizes it, he's like looking through the file. He's like, oh my God, it's this thing. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, congratulations, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't think about the fact that, I guess there's no post-op in the 22nd century.
But I think that is even if it's predictable or foreseeable, his arrogance that they're like, oh yeah, we'll take him now.
It blinded him to that.
He'd just be like, oh, see, came to my decision. Dummies. Well, you're welcome.
Look, now you have your kid, and you're welcome.
Right.
I might agree.
He's like
with
Maui.
You. I might agree with you if they didn't come in and say, "Oh my God," they walk in the room and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna leave now," and he's like, "Oh, well, your child needs rest," and literally they go, "Oh." He is gonna get rest. He will definitely be fully rested.
And they're like, sharpening the knife on the wheel.
It's just that part was a little heavy-handed.
He's a little thick at that point. I granted that. Yeah.
But I will say that the episode did, like I said, it keep changing the goalpost, and it moved it forward enough where I was like, okay, I kind of got the sense of where they were going, but I assumed that the kid would live in the end.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing with Babylon 5 is often you will know how something is going to end. Well, no, I was going to say often there'll be episodes where they tell you this is how a character is going to die. But with Babylon 5, it's about the journey and the in between. So like they'll establish how major characters are going to die early on, but the fact is you don't know how they're going to get there. And there's been some where like they show these two characters killing each other, and then you think one thing, but not until several seasons later do you realize the full context is the opposite of what you expected. And that's just what Babylon 5 does. Like, that's his style.
It's very non-linear.
So I can see what you're saying about moving the goalposts.
Yeah. I mean, that's what when like there's like a rehearsed speech any B5 fan will have to give when they're trying to convince someone to watch B5. They're like, okay, so season 1. All right, that's how it will start, and they'll be like, you have to watch season 1. And you're going to be like, oh, well, it's okay. No, you have to watch because they will drip drop so many things that you don't even know they're doing. And then like season 4, you'll be like, what? That's when,
Yeah. That's one of the things I love the best about Babylon 5 is it's not every episode is perfect. I'm not expecting it to be, but because it's a single story that was conceived and executed by a single man, they can do stuff like that you just can't do in other science fiction or television. So like Philip said, you would have a part of a season 4 episode that would call back to something that happened, but it's not just a callback. It would flow and weave with it so seamlessly that you're like, how did that even happen?
There's literally a time travel story in season 1 that in season 3, they Back to the Future to it and visit them traveling back in time, and they are using scenes verbatim, and it fits perfectly with the exact thing that they're doing. You're like, oh my bejesus.
Yeah.
Okay, can I posit something here then? Mm-hmm. because this is kind of what I was also thinking about when I was watching the episode. I don't like anybody in the show. I don't know anybody, but I don't like anybody. I did like the one guy with the red eyes, stole the scene right away.
Oh, well, we could easily give you some good Jakar moments.
And that's my question. Is because it was maybe the way it was written or whatever, is Babylon 5 more interesting, like the story, like that sort of stuff? You can do some wild things, whereas maybe Deep Space Nine is more character oriented.
Well, I think
Can I say something, Philip? So I've heard JMS, the creator, said when he was envisioning Babylon 5, he said this in an interview, he wanted to do a big, grand space epic with worlds and war and this huge thing. And he's like, oh, but I also, as far as like the money, like I can only really do this like small, character driven, story. And then he realized it's the same thing. You're telling this grand story, but you're telling it through these small set of principal characters. And, these are the people at the turning points of their history. Like, these people matter, and their decisions and actions have vast consequences. So I'll lead with that.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the larger story of Babylon 5, is the 5 seasons, is not traditional in that, but in other words, it's a recognizable King Arthur or, whatever, good guys, women, love, romance, ups and downs, all these things. And so there's that sort of very traditional or tropish, or, by this I mean like in 1,000 years of storytelling, you'll recognize the story. But anyway, but in a good way. But then I find that I'm drawn to not the main story, that there are things. Like, I finally have to confess, I guess Londo's my favorite character, and I've fought it for so long, because he's actually, to me, the main arc of the story, and you don't get it. Or at least, that would be my argument, and I could be wrong, but like, it's all about Sheridan and Delenn and the war and Earth and politics, and I'm like, but then Londo is this whole time in the background and foreground the whole time is his big story. And so I think there's just multiple storylines. Every character has an arc, and so
it's very arc, like Philip was saying, we prerequisite season 1 because it's not the greatest, like any season 1 of any television, but I would never tell someone just watch seasons 2 through 5 of Babylon 5, like, or 2 through 4. Yeah, that's a good point. And we're saying that because they weren't sure if they were getting a 5th season at the end of 4, so it's a stopping point, but you wouldn't want to stop.
And so I think if I were selling it to you, Daniel, it would be the politics, because Earth government does some interesting things that you would like to watch them doing.
Oh yeah, and the Earth ships kick butt.
Yeah. And so basically, there's a lot of Ministry of Truth.
Oh man,
Watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It gets like you're just like your skin is crawling.
There's some familiar themes you may find as you watch this. So that would be my pitch to you.
A couple of things, a couple of comments. Things that you guys are, I'm sure, aware of. CG's terrible, bad, which is fine. Whatever, I can get past that. Doesn't bother me.
It's cheaper, but if you kind of tune that part out, it tells the story well enough to tell what's going on.
Sure. Yeah, no.
Like I'm not saying it's Star Trek quality, because it's not, and it never will be.
Well, I don't think.
Because CGI wasn't invented. I mean, they were still using models. While
contemporary
CGI. It's models versus CGI. But there were shots you could do in Babylon 5 that you couldn't physically film with a model, but visually, I know
it's 100% CGI.
Yeah.
No, whatever. It's fine. I can see past that. That's not a stopping point for me or anything like that. There's a scene which is essentially in the promenade, I guess.
Zocalo.
They have.
It's basically the same thing.
They have civilian clothes. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Star Trek doesn't do that very well.
Yeah, because I think that, and I was thinking about this.
Or they take it from a bus seat.
Well, I was thinking that because I'm thinking about my PhD program. But anyway, I was like, there's so many issues I would like to do like research in Star Trek, but I can't, because Star Trek doesn't cover every issue. Like, I can't talk about the government of Star Trek. I mean, I could, but you really got to invent a lot because it's not there. I could do government in B5 all day long because it's not only Earth government, it's like all the alien governments are fleshed out. Their religion or not religion is fleshed out. I mean, it is fleshed out and not...
Except for the Vorlons.
Yeah, but that's...
But,
yeah,
you know,
but,
they're the black box that nobody
that's
understands.
the larger story of what they stand for, and then good versus not good and what... Anyway, but yeah, I would say it's not... Star Trek does... You know, one of its weaknesses is presenting aliens as one note. So all the Romulans have bowl cuts, they all wear this uniform, full stop. And it's like... Babylon 5, you know, there's 3 cast of Minbari. There's, you know, all these different kind of Nar, and there's all these Centaur, you know, and so I think that's one thing.
They don't always agree. They don't always speak with one voice. They, you know,
so.
Yeah.
It was also jarring to hear money featured so heavily in the, like, even...
Hey, gotta get paid.
even Star Wars, even like a lot of, you know, very popular science fiction, money is not the top concern, but it seems to be very, very prominent in what's going
there's
on.
there's an episode I just watched, the labor strike one, Philip.
They're unions
and
in this.
It's literally
Babylon State.
Yeah, it's all about the dock worker union and like the budget and the military budget and the Senate. Like, I purposely didn't choose that one because I know it was a little heavy on the whole, like, you know, money, but it's still a good episode because it deals with, you know, human rights.
There's
and,
a B plot
and
of one
and,
where the captain and the first officer have their rent raised and of where they live, and the captain's like, I'm not paying, and so like they have to bunk in his office for like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
To be fair, DS9 also has a strike episode.
That's true. Well. But yeah, so I mean this show does not shy away from the budgetary necessity of running a space station connected to Earth.
Oh wait, so this station is above Earth?
No, but it is run by the Earth Alliance.
But it is orbiting a planet.
Yes.
There's
nothing going on with that planet. Don't worry about
it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's at a Lagrange point above a planet.
It's completely dead. It's in the neutral.
It's the Epsilon Iridini system, which is an actual system, but it's like in between all the big alliances.
Neutral
so you have
territory.
the Centauri, the Narn, the Minbari, and Earth are all around it, but it's like this little neutral spot in the middle.
Okay, so real quick, my last question, and then we can probably close out. Is the FTL is that a gate, or is it ship based, or how does that work?
So it's
hyperspace, right?
So it's hyperspace. So you need a gate to get in to hyperspace if your ship doesn't have a jump engine. So most smaller ships don't. Unless you're like a big capital ship, then you can create your own
jump point.
So basically, there's like the jump gates are all like beacons, and so in order to find your way out of hyperspace, you are following the beacon. So if you lose the beacon, you basically are lost in hyperspace forever. But yeah, it's like a jump gate technology, but it's not instantaneous. It's like it takes you into the hyperspace.
And it's not technology that originated with any of the races. Like, they were already there. So that none of those races invented.
I thought the Centauri
they found
built
them.
it.
And then they've managed to replicate some of them.
So it's Promethean technology.
Yes,
is what it is.
Because then we go into Third Space, the TV movie, and that explores that whole, you know.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that part yet, but yeah. So it's basically like a neutral network of jump gates across the galaxy,
like a mycelial network.
Oh gosh, yes. On that note. But yeah, but it was fun.
I also like that all the races aren't on the same technological spectrum.
Right.
Like the Minbari are more advanced, ships. Vorlons are even more advanced, and then the Narn are, you know, not as advanced, and so it's interesting.
Yeah, it'd probably go Vorlon,
Minbari.
Then Minbari, then Earth and Centauri are probably
and the
equal.
Narn just stole the Centauri
and the Narn,
stuff, so.
Yeah. Painted it red and made it fierce looking.
Racing stripes.
Well, it has been fun talking about socio-economic issues, what is right, doctors with repercussions, and all sorts of great science fiction on this deep dive into Babylon 5 and Bashir. Because we did talk about Bashir a good amount. Probably not the 50% I promised at the beginning of the episode. I'm sorry about that, but
You were so arrogant, Darren. Dr.
But
Sci-Fi
I'm glad you
indeed.
enjoyed. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode, Daniel, and I promise we won't force you to watch any more, but you, on your own volition, are welcome to. But if someone wanted to talk to you and recommend what episode they think you should watch next, Daniel, where would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word. And you know what? I would say I would watch one more episode. But you'd have to hook me.
Man. Okay, Philip, you choose. You choose.
I was not hooked. So
No, but I would again.
Okay, well, I didn't give you this episode to hook you, though,
and that's
Daniel.
totally
I gave this,
fair. And I'm not.
I gave you this to do a contrast with Star Trek,
and that's totally fine. But like, this episode hasn't had me running out of my seat to watch one more or another.
Okay.
If there's
Phillips is just sharing on this. We got to brainstorm.
If there is one episode that.
But you can't pick something from like season 4 that like ties it all together though either. Like you gotta.
I'm trying to think of the one with Zach and Night Watch, and that's trying one of those. I'm trying to think of.
Well, we've talked plenty of times about introducing new people to Star Trek, and it's a daunting task. Like it's not an easy thing to do, and there's no one hit wonder for everybody. So it's like you have to really know the person, and you have to understand what they enjoy.
I don't know if we know you well enough, Daniel, after 5 years of podcasting to pick an episode that will hook you into this new series. Give me your best shot.
I'll watch one more episode. If it doesn't get me, then I think Babylon 5 is...
Oh, man, the pressure's on, Philip. But no, I think we could come up with something. It's not going to be early on, probably, but it might be a hook, and then we'll say, maybe we'll give you a Cliff Notes to season 1 or something, like, pick these half a dozen episodes at least, but... It's hard. Like I've been rewatching season 1, and there's been some that I've been kind of skipping because I'm like, I remember that one enough. I don't need to watch it again. But there's also some really good stuff. So okay, gauntlet's been thrown down. Well, Philip, if someone wants to talk to you while you're frantically searching through Babylon 5 polls, where would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at NCPublicServant, and more than happy to talk about Star Trek, Babylon 5, Doctor Who, whatever you got.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about Deep Space Nine, my favorite series, that's all I talk about, they can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram under Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI, or drsci-fi.com. So next week, Daniel, what are we talking about?
We're going to continue our series on... Is it really that bad?
God. Oh, the best. The best.
No.
So don't worry.
Okay, that's true. Of all the episodes you've made me watch, I can make you watch a couple of Babylon 5 episodes.
And don't worry.
I think that's only fair.
Don't worry. This isn't the one you're thinking it is.
Is it a movie?
It's not a movie.
Oh, good. Because I'm an investment right now. So what do you got?
We're not going to be watching the movie yet.
Can I even think of what it would be?
Yes, you will.
Well, you kind of do need to tell us because we need to watch
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Is it the Crusher episode from Next Generation?
It is not.
Okay.
Not Sub Rosa?
It's not Sub Rosa.
Okay.
Code of Honor?
It's not Code of Honor.
Is it? What series is it from?
No, I can't tell you that because that'll give it away immediately.
What?
There's not like a super bad Enterprise episode.
Well, we've done original series and DS9 and Voyager.
In fact,
so it was only
just because Philip said it, we will be covering the Enterprise episode. These are the Voyages.
Oh,
we will be discovering.
Oh man,
is it really that?
Oh yes, I'm already saying yes.
Twist the knife, Daniel.
No, I think it's flip the switch, if I remember how he. Anyway.
Yeah. So catch that next week.
Oh man.
Okay, well look, I'll just get this power couple from here and join it with this one down here, and I just won't have to go through this experience. All right. I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
And I'm Daniel Thru.
Dreading next week here on City Alpha 3.